thought I found salamanders, but what I found was medicine and a deeper message. For months now, the same words had kept appearing in my path. Nature keeps speaking. Breakthrough, metamorphosis, regeneration. A reminder hidden in plain sight. Healing can feel like going backward until you realize it's regeneration. What if you're not falling apart? What if you're transforming? In my life, nature mirrored the transformation that I was already living, from survive to thrive.
Welcome to my channel, This Way to Bliss, where I hike and explore and car camp in my hybrid SUV and heal through nature, one hop, skip, and step at a time. Hi, I'm Candice J. Frazier. This is my story of growing through grief instead of giving up, resetting my nervous system, and breaking my addiction to chaos and confusion. Out here, I found the strength to keep going and the first sparks of balance, bliss, freedom, and fun after the fallout of divorce, loss, betrayal, and abandonment. I have so many adventures to share, so make sure you like, subscribe, and share with your friends.
The beauty of being 5'2", I don't have to bend. I can walk straight, although I did just kind of clip my head there.
And as my 3-year-old granddaughter would say, that's what you get. On this episode, we are going to traverse the Independence Trail in Nevada City following the South Fork of the Yuba River. This hike was filmed April 1st of 2023, and it wasn't just April Fool's Day for me. It was an anniversary of a time when I was so lost in my own darkness I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So if you've ever felt like giving up, just know that I have, twice. There have been seasons in my life where the pain felt heavier than hope. And like I said, I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I had this really negative belief that everyone would be better off without me. But that was in 1997. Fast forward, back in August of 2020, I had set out on my first camping trip to Yosemite in the middle of a year filled with loss, chaos, and grief. And it was a turning point. That video is linked above, but as if you've been following this journey of traversing the trail in higher wisdoms, nature holds me in a way that nothing else has on this healing journey. I can arrive dysregulated, heartbroken, and unsure of how to breathe again, and I will leave feeling like I still belong here. And I live in this state of awe that is a whole medicine all in itself. But anyway, back to the story. I've been sharing over the season of this traversing the trail in higher wisdoms of where in that darkness I started asking different questions, like what would I miss the most? And those curiosity questions, those are what saved my life. So I began to surrender to what fear had built inside of me instead of giving up. I began to grieve and forgive myself. I began learning how to create peace after pain, and how to love the parts of me that survival taught me to reject. And then nature started mirroring my transformation. Like I said, it was showing me about breakthrough. It was showing me about regeneration. It was showing me about metamorphosis. And on this hike, which you'll see coming up soon, I meet a small bridge creature. And this creature is born in water, transformed by change, and called onto new ground. And that's where I realized maybe healing isn't falling apart. Maybe it's becoming.
It's sprinkling. The rain dancing on the water.
So if you're navigating trauma healing, learning how to love yourself, learning how to regulate your nervous system, processing grief, or learning how to rebuild after toxic relationships, this video is for you. And I want to share with you that nature truly does have a way of reminding us when it feels like life is breaking, it might actually be becoming. And real quick, I want to explain what you're seeing here. This Independence Trail had caught on fire and it destroyed the entire trail, burned down the entire bridge. It was a sad day in Nevada City, but the trail is starting to come back to life, kind of like us after trauma. And that trail can be steep and it can be treacherous. but it's part of the journey I'm finding. Something you may not know about me is that I used to wake up with dread. My days were filled with this nagging feeling that something was wrong, but I didn't know what. So bad it was hard to get out of bed.
This used to be a bridge. Till it got burnt to ashes.
Over the last year, much like this trail, I've gone through an eye-opening process that changed my life. And here's the higher wisdoms I know to be true. That I can heal myself, and that it is okay to reinvent yourself at any age. That it's okay to not love your life, even if you think you should. That it's okay to get help. And that change takes courage, but you don't have to do it alone. Nature has facilitated quite a massive transformation for me. It has helped me to take my life back and live healthier, feel whole again, achieve inner peace and joy, and transcend that cycle of pain and live a more fulfilling life. So if you or anyone you know is stuck in a rut, feeling like life is supposed to be more beautiful somehow, but not sure where to start, I get it. I've been there. I was 12 the first time I attempted to end my pain. And 26 years ago, on this day, for April's Fool's Day, after a fun day at an amusement park, I came home and in a very depressed state, I was certain I was unwanted and never going to be good enough. And I attempted and failed my second attempt to unalive myself. Postpartum depression combined with antidepressants did not work well for me.
Aren't those so cool? They feel like carpet. Hello, beautiful nature. I love you so much.
If you or someone you know is suffering, remember you can call 988 to get resources and support. You do not have to go through this alone.
Oh, well, there once was a bridge that sat here once till the fire came and made it like a dunce. It's just, wow. Can we just stand here for a moment and just admire this absolute beauty? Look at that green.
Someday maybe I'll tell more of that story, but back to the current. I have faced similar emotional heaviness many times since. Being fragmented from continuous trauma rewired my brain and left me feeling lost and unable to see the light at the end of the tunnel to stop the pain. So I would often imagine how much easier it would be for everyone if I had just given up. And that's where I was at in the beginning of 2021. Failure, unwanted, and feeling very unworthy, burnout, and wanting to give up. But the thing is, I now had tools that I had learned from my education before my divorce and my world came crashing down that had left me lost in the darkest moments of my life. And nature is how I nurture. Do you see the face in the mountain?
Ooh, doesn't that look like a face? Eyes, and a nose, and a mouth.
Pretty cool, even if it's not. I believe it's called pareidolia. So like I shared, nature helps me nurture. But getting familiar with the way my brain and body works also really helped me to get to the root cause and begin my next level of healing.
Like that song, "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls," but I wanna chase waterfalls. Remind me to tell y'all a story about how I went over a waterfall one time in Chico. Huh, it was not fun. Waterfall, waterfall, waterfall.
I saw this heart-shaped puddle, and as I lean over, I can see my reflection in it. I thought that was really cool. I know, I'm a nerd. I don't care. Nature was literally mirroring the love that I was giving myself back to me through my surroundings and my adventures. And then there it was, a tiny bridge creature I almost mistook for something ordinary, the Sierra Newt, small, quiet, easy to miss, yet built for metamorphosis.
Ready for your movie star debut? He's just coming out of his frost.
And then, just like life does to us, the Sierra Newt lost its footing, tumbling, rolling, completely upside down, revealing the bright orange underbelly hidden underneath the surface. Nature's warning: don't mistake softness for weakness. And that struck me deeply because healing can feel like this. It's awkward, messy, exposed. You're trying to find steady ground while everything familiar slips beneath you. Now let's talk about why the Sierra Newt is bridge medicine. It's born in water, transformed by change, called on to new ground, and yet wise enough to return to the waters that shaped it without drowning there. That's healing, not forgetting where you came from, but no longer living there. This little newt was a demonstration of pure determination, resiliency, and a passionate persistence forward, not giving up on its desire to climb that wall. We have to be like that in our recovery. When life has thrown us a really bad hand of cards and keeps knocking us off balance, we must keep getting back up and trying again. Now, this newt has a pretty nifty strategy. Its earthy brown back blends quietly with stone, while beneath burns orange life force, emotion, creativity, joy, the sacred fire that returns when safety returns to the body. So profound.
Hello.
And then I saw two of them, a reminder that transformation is never only personal. When one being changes, it changes what becomes possible for others. That's how healing ripples. One brave becoming awakens another. Quiet beings often carry powerful medicine, soft without becoming prey, open with boundaries, gentle and still protected. So I drove home after this hike carrying a quiet knowing. Maybe what feels like falling apart is really transformation. Maybe the bridge between survival and sovereignty is simply learning how to trust yourself enough to keep becoming. And if you're wondering how, maybe that begins with something simpler than we think: curiosity. Getting honest enough to ask, what fills my cup? What drains my life force? What helps me feel present, steady, peaceful, alive? What keeps pulling me back into old pain, old fear, old patterns that no longer fit who I'm becoming? Because healing isn't only about what we release, it's about what we intentionally choose. More awe, more breath, more stillness, more movement, more moments that remind the body life can feel safe again. And when safety returns, joy returns, creativity returns, energy returns, hope returns, piece by piece, you begin meeting the version of you that was buried beneath survival. Just a few days later, celebrating Mazzie's first birthday. She was love waiting in its simplest form. her soft fur, warmth, presence, a constant reminder that healing isn't only found in grand breakthroughs. Sometimes it's found in the gentle moments that teach the nervous system that you are now safe. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your bell notifications so you can traverse the next trail with me. Stay sovereign, self-sourced, and remember,